All right, everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I have Zach LaFrido.
It's close enough, dude.
Nailed it. And today, we're going to be talking about why it's important to choose a realtor and a mortgage broker. Broker?
Yeah.
I nailed it?
Well, it's mortgage agent. I might get in trouble, but you said it. I didn't say it. So as long as you say it.
My name is not Dave Hutchinson. This is not my YouTube channel. And why it's important to work with someone that has a team behind them. And I'm not just referring to somebody that has a team in terms of a team of realtors, but a team with a mortgage broker that they work with, a mortgage agent that they work with on a frequent basis, a real estate lawyer that they work with on a frequent basis. And we're going to go over so why that is so important, and also some stories that we both encountered when it comes to us dealing with that ourselves. So, for example, Zach and I work together very, very frequently. The two of us have done multiple deals together. I know how Zach works. I know what Zach likes on his paperwork, and Zach has his own team of things. For me, myself, I have a team of 4 agents that work underneath me. So, for example, if I'm not available to, take you for a showing or whatever it may be, you'll always have somebody there to take you and make sure that, you're taken care of. And that's extremely important because, time is of the essence. Maybe not right now in the buying and selling market, but for example, if you're looking for a rental and you don't have somebody showing you that property tomorrow, it's gone. And a lot of people have friends in the industry. That's very common. I think a lot of people have friends in the industry that they want to use, but that's not always the best case, and it's not always going to have the best outcome for you using a friend or family relative that maybe is in the industry. And I've seen it time and time again when, they use their mom, their dad's friend, or a friend that they referred to, and it really shit hits the fan, and it's not a good time for you. It can make things 10 times more stressful. And one thing I can never stress is, we just had this happen. I won't say any names, but a client of someone that I know, they wanted to save a little bit of money on the lawyer side of things, and it just didn't end too well. Or another big example is using out-of-town, realtors or out-of-town mortgage brokers or out-of-town lawyers. In the city of Toronto, we are like its own little animal. It's a different beast down here. We work different. What's that stupid TikTok?
I don't know what you're just trying to get at, but
no, we're different. We hustle. We're different culture.
Same animal, different beast.
Yeah. Like Toronto, we have our methods. The way we sell and trade real estate here in Toronto is different than the way people in London sell and trade real estate, and different than Windsor and Ottawa and so on and so on. And the way we do things here is very quick and efficient.
I was going to say the speed, and what you already touched upon there was working with people that know each other, because I know Dave's going to answer my call if I have a question about a client that's 8 o'clock and it's my number that pops up, as opposed to who's this guy calling me, or who's this lawyer, who's this mortgage broker, and vice versa. He's got a new client for me. He sends me an email. All right, we work together all the time. I know that it's going to be probably a serious buyer that wants to move on something. We need to get this together quickly. I'm going to send it to my team as well, that I have an underwriter. I have someone that we're going to work together to put together the deal as quickly as possible, turn that pre-approval around, or turn the approval around if it's like a last minute anything, right? So it's just working with, and then I have great lawyers that I work with. Dave has the same. We share some as well. So we know the speed of which people need to move the deal along as well. I know my lawyer wants the instructions 10, 14 days before. It's like, so I better get my crap together to make sure that it's getting to him in an appropriate time, or I'm getting a call from Dave saying what's going on. Like, we're always kind of talking to each other, and we're always constantly working on deals together as well. So it's like we know each other very well. We're always communicating, a few times a week on touching base on what's happening, and staying on the pulse of, especially this, as Dave said, in Toronto, we're selling a ton of like downtown Toronto condos. That's where Dave's all about. So I'm able to run numbers super realistically, or down to, $50 here or there when I'm just doing a pre-approval. I know that the units that Dave's going to be showing in that price range is going to be approximately this, and we're going to be very accurate with our numbers beforehand and very quick to turn things around once it becoms a live deal.
Yeah, there's one thing that I like before I forget, because I'm going to. So in the city of Toronto, we work with a lot of condos, obviously. Having a lawyer that knows the condominiums already is game changing, because there's a thing that you have to get reviewed called a status certificate. Whenever you're buying or purchasing a condo in Toronto, you need to get a status certificate reviewed by a lawyer. The status certificate is really going over the financials and the health of the building, showing if there's any litigations against the property, making sure the reserve fund is a good standing order, and basically that the building has been managed properly financially. And the same thing goes for for the mortgage broker side of things. There are certain buildings in the city that will not lend to Jesus Christ. I'm on a roll too. There are certain buildings that won't lend. Yeah, there are certain buildings that will not lend. Like A lenders, RBC, Scotiabank, or TD, they won't lend to certain buildings because of certain issues, or but the mortgage brokers will know.
Yeah, it's generally funds that are in the building or lawsuits that are pending with the building where insurers won't lend to that building. So if someone is putting less than 20% down, an insurer needs to be involved. They're saying, no, I won't do this. In turn, the lender won't move forward with that unless they have 20% down. You called me a couple weeks ago about working with another mortgage broker, didn't do the due diligence before to call on the building, found out insurer won't touch the building. Now it's too late. They're a month into the transaction, or a month into the when they had originally signed the purchase agreement. There's no backing out. They have to figure out a solution for it, right? But if you work with someone who understands or knows those buildings, sometimes I'm like, oh, whatever it is. I don't
One King West.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
If you have a client looking at One King West, make sure you have a finance condition.
Yeah.
We figured it all out. And honestly, it wasn't the mortgage broker's fault. It was just, they didn't know. And thank goodness we had a finance condition. In the market that we're in right now, we're able to kind of get away with having finance conditions in there. But for example, if this was in January, February, March, there's a good chance we would have went in firm. And it would have been a sticky situation, to say the least, that we got ourselves out of. But yeah, One King West is one of the ones. There was also a few things going on with it, like it was sub 400 square feet. It's a hotel residence.
Those are a lot of things that would just be red flags as well already, that if you send me a listing and we work together at the time, I'd say, this might not work out.
Yeah,
or we need a backup plan, or definitely put like you already had a financing condition, which is fine, but you would have pre-warned if you're working in a lot of the same buildings around Toronto, or on my team, right? It's easy. I work with a great team of other mortgage brokers as well. Normally, I'll call the insurers. There's 3 in Canada. Call them all up. Hey, do you guys have a problem with this? Takes me, 5-10 minutes of due diligence on the offer.
We did that. Again, the market, right now the market's different. So right now we're able to kind of put these finance conditions in, take our time with these transactions a little bit. Things are sitting on the market for, 30, 40 days, whatever. But I think it was February, March maybe, when the market was like bananas, February.
Yeah.
And we had like a really good chance. We had like a 45, maybe like an hour window where these sellers, the deal fell apart. We had 45 minutes to an hour to put together a deal from scratch. I've already seen the property, so the buyers have seen the property, but we literally went from nothing to fully pre-approved, status reviewed, because my lawyer is on it and Zach was on it, and we got a deal done in an hour. And because the seller was so desperate in that hour as the deal just fell apart, we were able to get my clients like a stupid deal in the market that was unbelievably shitty for buyers.
I could feel Dave sweating through the phone, and he's like, I don't know if we can get this done. I said, as long as they get on the phone with me right now, we got a shot to get this pre-approval fully done and ready to go, and going firm, I think, on that.
We did,
offer as well. So,
yeah. And that same thing goes for the lawyers. The lawyer that I work with specifically, and there's a few great lawyers, don't get me wrong, but he knows the way I work. I know the way he works. He answers his phones on weekends. That's insane. He answers his phone at like 6. The first time I met this guy, honest to God, he was at dinner with his wife, and he said, I sent him a status review at like 8 p.m. And he's like, yeah, no problem. I'll do it right now. I was like, oh, well, you can finish dinner. He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to do it right now anyways. But that's how you it makes a humongous difference. Using a lawyer that is not familiar with condos in general, it's the same thing as using a lawyer that's not familiar with pre-construction, paperwork. You need to use lawyers that are specific to what you're doing. So you might save a few $100s using your uncle that's based out of Thunder Bay, but it's probably going to cost you in the long run. It might cost you tens of thousands of dollars, not $500.
If things go really south, it could be losing a deposit. It could be making major mistakes. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it goes the same with certain lenders, and I won't name names of lenders right now because I love you all out there, lenders that I use regularly, but some are a little bit slower sometimes in the market, and it's like, okay, there is a better interest rate here. You're going to save $10 a month, cheaper on your mortgage payment, but it might not close on time. It's like, do you want to potentially end up giving the seller $1,000 because you close a couple days later, or more than that, whatever, or cause the deal to fall apart to save a couple dollars now? And that's working with a good mortgage broker that's a full-time mortgage broker, or not even full-time, just does more mortgages per month and knows the difference between that. I wouldn't necessarily know that if I was doing one deal a month with certain lenders, that this lender is actually going to take 3 weeks longer to get to review documents than this one that's going to do it in 3 hours, and we're going to be able to move on the deal. So just little nuances like that. And the same with realtors. Like, you're not going to know which buildings have little quirks that others are going to know. That this door doesn't quite open in the front. You want to go in the back entrance. This has crazy traffic on this street. Some little things like that are important.
It's huge. Like, it makes a humongous difference. Especially, and the thing that's kind of unfortunate is that there is really no way to really check what a real estate agent does in terms of like their net and income and how many transactions they've done. I wish that was more public knowledge, because I think it would actually benefit the consumer a lot. Put my stuff out there. I'm ready for it. I'm doing all right.
Cocky ass.
Yeah. I was number 2 in my brokers, though. Who's counting?
That's it? Number 2?
I know. Number one's a big name, so I'm just happy with it. He's like Rosedale's. Anyways, he's a good dude. But yeah, so this video is essentially just to make sure that you understand that you need to use people that work together, because at the end of the day, working together gets your deal done a lot smoother, a lot more efficiently, and will actually save you money. Don't try to cut corners, using your uncle or your friend Bob. It's not going to actually save you money. It might actually cost you a lot more.
Listening to the referrals that are given, whether it's for myself, referring a realtor, referring a mortgage broker, lawyer, anything like that is super important. I know, yes, everyone wants the best deal out there, but I was talking to Dave about this as well. Every mortgage broker is going to get a very similar comparable interest rate. And I think you said something funny like, mortgage brokers are free. Like, why are you going to save money using someone else or whatever? Maybe they'll kick you back a couple bucks or anything. But again, it goes to what I said about lenders. Is like, are they going to take 3-4 weeks to review your documents or put something together, or 3 hours? So they have a team behind them. So just working with those referrals, like, we've worked together before, we have a strong unit. Listen to the professional that you already trust as well. If you're going with Dave, you're using him as a realtor, he's not just going to like pull someone randomly out of a hat and you can't pronounce this guy's last name. It's Zach something, and like, here, go use him. But no, we work together well as a unit, and like, the referrals are there kind of for a reason. We've vetted each other by doing work together already.
And yeah, that's we just gave you a few stories there. We won't throw anyone else under the bus, so everyone can relax. The video is over. But we just wanted to stress the importance of using people that are putting some skin in the game, doing business, making money, understand what's going on in the real estate world, and working together as a team, conjunctively.
Sure, man.
I'm just going to drop that. Working together as a team and the importance of that. But again, if you guys are enjoying the content that we're putting out and you're enjoying watching these videos, I please ask you to subscribe, hit the notification button, and subscribe so you don't miss any videos that we're putting out. And thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.